The Late Cretaceous DLC is not the DLC we were expecting, but I think it's a very good thing that we didn't get the much wanted Malta DLC yet, and I'll tell you why in this video. And another reason to be excited, I have evidence that suggests we're going to get two DLCs very close together. Hello everyone and welcome to another Malta DLC discussion video for Jurassic World Evolution 2, because let's be honest, we all still have this DLC on the brain. Most people, myself included, were expecting Frontier to release a Malta or Black Market Dominion DLC this month to add the final missing Dominion dinosaurs and Lystrosaurus to our game. But Frontier had other plans. I've seen quite a few comments on my videos from people who were like, I didn't want these dinosaurs, I wanted the Atrociraptors, I want Oviraptor, I want Leonard. However, the Late Cretaceous DLC is pretty dang good, and the free update, even better. In the statistics for the game, you can see a slight upward angle to the daily player count following the release of the 2. Arguably, that does have more to do with that free update. It's not the biggest uptick in player base though, and it's not necessarily what the game needed. But I think we have something better coming, something big. And that's what this video is about. Now, I've discussed a potential Malta DLC twice before, and neither of my predictions about when these dinosaurs would get added to our game have come true, and still I am convinced that they will get added. It just makes undeniable sense for a game that is based on Jurassic World Dominion to have all Dominion dinosaurs. But clearly, I've been wrong before. All of this is just speculation, obviously, but with the missing dinosaurs not having been added so far, I think we can expect to see them in a DLC in late November or early December. And not just a Malta DLC. December is a very profitable month for most companies because it's the gift-giving season. Releasing the final piece of the Dominion puzzle at this time would be financially a strategic move, I think, combining the generosity of holiday shopping with our own completionist need to have all the movie creatures in our parks. Right? Well, if that's the case, then I think we are in for a real treat. If the Malta DLC had been released in September, as we were all expecting, instead of the Late Cretaceous DLC, which did in fact drop, I predicted it would have been a simple dinosaur pack, just adding the missing species to our game and be done with it. Since it would be the first DLC after the Dominion Biosyn expansion, I didn't see them releasing two more substantial DLCs back to back. The DLC getting quote-unquote pushed to the holiday season means we can probably expect more content from it. Let's look how Frontier has done their content releases for Jurassic World Evolution, including the first game, around previous holiday seasons. Jurassic World Evolution 2 itself, as a base game, launched in early November. So that was already right before the holiday season, and they probably had in mind that a lot of people would be getting the game as a holiday gift. And they still released a dinosaur pack, or creature pack I should say, the early Cretaceous pack, only a month later. Do you remember that? A lot of people were really up in arms about them releasing a DLC so shortly after releasing the base game. But I think it goes to show that they like releasing a lot of content around the holiday time. It gets really exciting when we look back at Jurassic World Evolution 1 and what was added to that game, the OG game, in late 2018 and late 2019. In 2018, the first holiday season after the launch of the original game, Frontier hit us with a 1-2 punch. The Secrets of Dr. Wu DLC on the 20th of November, and the Cretaceous pack launching on December 13th, less than a month later. In case you didn't play the first game and you are unfamiliar with what these two DLCs included, the Cretaceous pack was just a dinosaur pack with 3 dinosaur species, but the Dr. Wu DLC was a pretty extensive DLC, which included a lot of content that I put up on the screen right now. So in terms of content added, the holiday season of 2018 was very good for us. Fast forward to the end of 2019. Frontier basically repeats what they did the previous year, a 1-2 punch. This time starting with the smaller DLC, the Raptor Squad skin pack on the 26th of November 2019, which added the 4 skins of the Jurassic World Raptors into our parks, and then on the 10th of December, so only 2 weeks later, Frontier launched the best and sadly final DLC for Jurassic World Evolution 1, the Return to Jurassic Park DLC. This DLC was a really big deal in the community because it added a lot of things that we really wanted to the game. So in the holiday season season of 2019, we were again spoiled by content. Of course, if you could afford it. This is an overview of the DLCs for both games in 2018, 2019, and 2021, the 3 years we have experienced the holiday season while one of the two titles was still actively getting content. And for all three November/December periods, you can see that we got two things very close together. One big thing and one little thing. So what does that mean for this holiday season? I think it means the Malta DLC is going to be the big thing of the season. Why do I think that? Well, that would explain why they separated it from the Dominion Biosyn expansion. Adding just a few more species to that DLC and making it a little bit more expensive to compensate could have been sold to us. I think that would have been perfectly fine. But I think what's going to happen is the Malta DLC is going to have so much content that if they had lumped all of that in with the Dominion Biosyn expansion, the whole thing would have been way too expensive and it would have just been met with backlash. I'm expecting the Malta DLC to be comparable to the Return to Jurassic Park DLC and the Biosyn expansion itself. Meaning, in addition to the story campaign, focused on the black market aspect of the movie of course, and contained within that story campaign an entirely new black market mechanic. Like how the Biosyn Sanctuary campaign gave us a different way of acquiring dinosaur DNA through the amber mines instead of global expeditions, I think we'll get our dinosaurs by either buying or rescuing them from a black market. The campaign will be spread across 2 new maps that we can add to our sandbox collection, as has been the case for all big DLCs that Frontier has released for any Jurassic World Evolution title so far. One of those maps will obviously be a Malta map. What the other map will be, I don't know. The DLC will of course add the missing species, being Atrociraptor, Oviraptor, Morrison-trepidus, and Lysosaurus, and give us the alternate Allosaurus model and Carnotaurus skin. If we're very lucky and if they really want to spoil us and make me personally very happy, they'll also give us a Baryonyx with a prosthetic arm and little baby Beta. If they do that, then it basically follows the concept of the Return to Jurassic Park DLC and the Dominion DLC, and it's only a little more than the Secrets of Dr. Wu DLC. And for that reason, pricing of this more extensive Malta DLC will be around $20. Now you can imagine that if they had added all of that to the Biosyn expansion, the whole thing could have been $40 overall, and obviously that's way too much to ask for one DLC. Now remember the promise I made. I promised that if they add the missing dinosaurs in a separate DLC, I would do a giveaway for that DLC. That is, according to my own prediction now, shaping up to be quite an expensive gift, but I'm sticking with that promise, so it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. If the Malta DLC will indeed be the big thing of the holiday season, that begs the question, what is the small thing going to be? Just now thinking about it actually as like a little aside, it totally makes sense to do both a big and expensive thing, as well as a small and cheaper thing around the holiday seasons, because like, you want to appeal to people with different budgets, right? So if someone just wants to give a small gift, you want to have that on offer too. Clever girl. And just for laughs, before I share what I think the small thing is going to be, I want to throw out 2 release date predictions for both things coming in the holiday season, and it'll be interesting to see if I nail it again like I managed to do with the base game release, as well as the Dominion Biosyn expansion release date. I won't go into my reasoning here because this video is shaping up to be long enough, but I think we're gonna get something on November 15th, and we're gonna get something on December 8th. Everybody place your bets. But yeah, what do I think the small thing is going to be? Well, we're still missing some things from Camp Cretaceous, namely Little Edie and the NOTHOSAURUS. That could be possible, although it might be too small, but then again you could argue that the Raptor Squad skin pack was also very, very small. It was just 4 alternate skins. But really, if they decide not to go the Camp Cretaceous route, it could be any kind of dinosaur/creature pack. Maybe the early Jurassic pack, who knows? I would, by the way, really love for them to go through all major time periods and give us content for each. Let me know in a comment down below what you think the small thing is going to be. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy the game.